Beckham, you burnt my house to the ground and my wife to the stake and left me for dead. The same night that you sold your soul to the devil and had the mark of the beast branded to your chest. Well, I'm here to tell you, Beckham, showing the mark of the beast will not protect you from me. I will face you in a gunfight and draw at the beat of your piano.
Glad to see me, eh? I came as fast as I could, little one. Because I figured you were worried about me, eh? Grown up, she's a woman now. Well, all right. You're a woman now. You dirty little... You. Who are you?
Well, what brings you all the way out here?
This.
Okay, where did you find it?
On a dead man's feet. Last night, 2 men were killed. Those were on one of them. A stranger.
I hear it's a southern gunfighter that's been looking for me. He comes in, 2 guns blazing, just waiting for that bullet in the gut to put him out of his misery. But his time hasn't come yet. Yet he's left a trail of dead bodies along the way, most of them former boys in blue. Would you be him?
No, Sheriff, that is what they want you to think. You see, my family was killed by a man named Backham. My house burnt to the ground and my wife to the stake. I was left for dead. Yet I took one of them with me. But nobody believed my story, and I spent 15 years in prison because of it. Well, I settled up with Beckham. Then an old friend informed me that 2 men had been killed. One of them wearing stirrups with the mark of the beast. I went by the undertaker's place to identify the body. It matched the man's identity that killed my family years ago. They followed me in town and, well, you know the rest.
Get her something to eat. A body works better on a full stomach. The sheriff sent you?
I'm looking for Jack Carson.
The way I see it, Randall, he killed your woman, you killed his kid brother. That makes you even. The best thing you can do is get out while the getting's good.
Well, I might be willing to forgive if he's repented from his sins. But I understand that he's still wearing the mark of the beast. So I'll make it easy for him. I hear that he's a hunter. Get word to him that I'll meet him in the forest with no guns if he thinks that he can hunt me down.
Mrs. Stratton, I have a man out in the wagon, and he's beaten almost to death.
Go grab that pail and get some water from the creek for me.
Yes, Mama.
This is how it got started. There was a man that went back and he traced his family tree. He learned that many of his ancestors were accused of being witches and warlocks. Some were burned at the stake and others met very hard deaths. He felt called to settle odd debt. He had to mark the beast, branded to his chest, and got in contact with other families that suffered the same loss. They called themselves the disciples of Satan. And they blame all righteous people for this wrongdoing because it's opposite of witchcraft. All these men are demonly possessed. Now, that don't mean they can't be killed. They just feel that the demons will protect them. They do not fear the law or the hang rope. And they're very dangerous to all righteous people. Well, brother, I heard that you sent for me. Brother William Randell. I took up the Lord's word, and you took up the gun. I've heard about all these killings along the border. How was your trip? You know, it's been a while since I've ridden a train. Well, that's the only way to deal with those men is with a gun. I mean, they just don't stand any other way. Well, Mr. Beckham Sr. is behind all of this. He just hung 2 men yesterday. What we need is our own sheriff to protect us against the disciples of Satan. You could be that man. I thought that the town had a sheriff. They've got their own sheriff, but it's self-appointed by Mr. Beckham. We, the righteous Christian people in this area, have got them outnumbered. We have a right to elect our own sheriff, and we choose to elect you, but you must take the badge away from the disciple of Satan. Mr. Beckham must be arrested and taken to stand trial. This cross is a symbol. It represents the blood that Christ shed for us on the cross to save all sinners of their sins. Yet you must wear it to draw the disciples of the devil out in the open. They hate it. You'll not be mocking the Christian faith. You'll be protected. God believing people. Well, I'll do what I can.
Heavenly Father, guide us. Guide us.
This is how it is. The disciples of the devil blame all Christian people for the wrong that have been done to their ancestors in the past. They'll hang us, burn us at the stake, and we'll meet other hard deaths unless we get a sheriff to protect us. I've asked my brother Will to come on as sheriff, and I think he'll do a good job. I pray that you're with me on this. Well, you know, Reverend, this cross is a symbol. Christ died on the cross, shed his blood to save us of our sins. It can be taken the wrong way, wearing it as a badge. Well, you know, some self-appointed sheriffs cut their badges out of tin. Now, we suggest that you wear the cross until you capture the badge from the demon sheriff. Last month, I informed each and every one of you citizens that I'd captured the badge from the demon sheriff. Since then, I've arrested Mr. Beckham Sr. for hanging those two men. He's been tried and is sentenced to hang by the circuit judge. He's been transferred at this time by armored guard to the county seat to be hung. This is a start for justice. Yet I don't know what the outcome will be for the rest of us.
All the law-abiding citizens going to town to say they were going to watch a man hang.
I know that your father was hung. It wasn't a pretty sight the way that he was hung. Yet it don't change the fact that he hung two men.
They enjoyed watching the life go out of that man, like it was a show. And ever since that day, I've been against the law and the law-abiding citizens and everything that they stand for.
I can understand you having a lot of resentment for the law. Yet it's not too late to turn your life over to the Lord and stay away from the damnation of Satan before it's too late. Well, brother, I heard that you wanted to see me. What I wanted to talk with you about, Will, as you know, the Anderson woman has filed charges against her husband for beating her. Well, she's taking refuge in town, and her husband, he's coming into town after her. Well, this man has informed his wife that he will not turn himself in. He will not go behind the bars. Now, you need to check with this woman and make sure that she wants to drop the charges or she don't want to drop the charges. If not, you're going to have to shoot it out with this man because he said that he will not go to jail. Well, this Anderson woman, her husband beats her bad. Now, I have a talk with her, but it's just going to be a rough road either way. But she holds the straw. Ma'am, regardless of whatever you say about your husband, don't change the fact that he's coming into town after you. And he said that he'd rather be shot than go behind those bars. So he doesn't give me but one choice unless you drop the charges. So I won't give you time to think about it, and what's it going to be?
I'm sorry.
I understand, ma'am. At the most, he'd probably get a short jail sentence, and he'd probably beat you to death when he got out. You know, some people never learn. They never learn. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him shall not perish but have everlasting life. We don't know where Mr. Anderson was a believer or not. We don't know where he put his faith in the Lord. All we know that he beat his wife. Yet, it's not for us to judge his salvation. This time, let's have a silent prayer for the Anderson family. Well, regardless of what you think about our sheriff, he stayed within the boundaries of the law. And regardless of what you think of him, he has not abused his position.
Slain. What an awful word. Is it necessary for one man to kill another? One nation to kill or dominate another in order to live?
Look, regardless of what you think about a sheriff, the guns are the tools of his trade. Just like the scaffold is a tool to a doctor. We need somebody qualified to protect us, to make it safer for law-abiding citizens, Christian people, to live. You know, ma'am, you don't seem to be all that grieved about the death of your husband. I guess you feared him all that much. Look, if it means anything to you, I'm sorry for what happened.
A chance to give him his comeuppance.
Look, I've got to go out to the tobacco place and try to reconcile with them and hope that we can stop this type of violence in the future. Well, I came to tell each and every one of you that I'm very sorry that Mr. Beckham Sr. was hung. Yet it goes to show that we cannot take the law into our own hands, that law is coming to this area. So what I'm asking, let's all of us work together, put away this violence, and come to a peaceful resolution. Well, I just want to have a talk with you young people. You know, you've got your whole lives ahead of you now. It's best to put your faith in the Lord and He'll help you through this. John 3:16 is my favorite word of Scripture. For God so loved the world that He gave His only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in Him should not perish but have everlasting life. I feel that if you keep this in mind as you walk through life, it will guide you down the right path. Well, I heard that you sent for me.
How you doing, Will? Glad to see you.
What I came to tell you, sir, is that I will be enforcing the law in this area, and I do not want your drovers shooting up the town. Well, if you would, I would ask you to have a talk with him. Let's all work together to bring law and order to this area.
We'll do it. Yes, sir. You got my vote.
I went out and I've talked with the Beckham family. I've also talked with the Rangers, and they're willing to work with me to bring law and order to this community. Will, the demon that is behind all of this, wants to meet you in the Valley of Death. Yes, I've heard about this man. I understand that Mr. Beckham Sr. was the brains behind it, and this gunman was the top trigger man. Well, I'll face him in the Valley of Death.
Those are the words of an executioner. Your mind is already set. You've already got it planned how you're going to kill a man. And you don't have any remorse when you go and cut a man down.
Well, you know, Doctor, you're a man of medicine. I'm sure that you have to anticipate when it comes to helping or saving any of your patients. Well, as a lawman, I've got to do the same thing. I've got to anticipate how I'm going to save my life as well as others. You know, it would be nice if everybody in the world would just repent from their sins and turn their lives over to the Lord. And there'll be no need for people like me. It don't change the fact that I'm one lawman out in the middle of nowhere with no support. And I just deal with the situation as best that I know how.
Just a short observation. I've noticed you have a need for danger. And this need for danger puts you in situations that, in order for you to survive, you are forced to kill.
That's true, Doctor, but I mean, everybody is not rolled into one person. You're a doctor. My brother is a preacher. I'm a lawman. We're just programmed different. Well, you know, brother, you were called to preach the Lord's Word. I feel that I found my calling now, and that is to enforce the law, to make it safer for law-abiding citizens to live. I feel that I found my destiny now. Well, you know, we feel that the demons are destroyed now, and we'd like you to stay on as sheriff. Yes, I'll stay on. I want to make this community a safe place for everyone to live.